What's up, guys? All right, I've been trying to do this video for weeks. One day, forgot my tripod. I put a short up about that. The next time I came, I forgot 45 ammo. Had hundreds of rounds of 9mm, no 45. So I couldn't do it then either. And then the next time I was gonna do it, it was raining. So I could not get this video shot, but today's beautiful. You can obviously see I've got a tripod and I've got a few hundred rounds of 45 right there. We're gonna do two videos on this firearm. We're gonna do one about the gun itself, and then we're gonna compare it to another gun in a later video. But what gun am I talking about? I borrowed this off my cousin. He was nice enough to let me borrow it. I actually have been meaning to buy one of these in a TAC Ops version, but it is the Sig 227. This is the Equinox N45 ACP. Now you can see it has like a brushed finish on the sides here with stainless controls and the blacked out slide and frame, other than the brushed finish here. It does have a fiber optic front sight with a night sight rear. I think that is the way they actually came. This actually has tritium in it as well, so it does glow. The fiber optic does glow. So I believe that's the way they came. These are, I'm gonna say, the newer grips. I don't know if they still do these. This is a different grip than all 226 and 229s I've ever owned. It's like a more wraparound style grip with no screws. It does point well. I remember when these grips come out, I didn't like them that well. I did only check out the 226 though, so maybe the fatter grip on the 227 actually feels my hand a little better. But like I said, I've been looking for one of these for a while. And but I will probably either get the threaded version because I have a suppressor for 45s, or I will get the TAC Ops version, which is more likely the way I'll go because they have the extended 14 round magazine. And when we compare it to the gun I brought here just a minute ago to compare it to, that will be a more apples to apples comparison if we had the 14 round magazine that comes with the TAC Ops. So when we do that video, we're just going to, you know, imagine we have it. Now, this gun is a double action. Single action, that means every time you pull the trigger, the hammer fires. When it cycles here, it automatically resets the hammer again. Then you go into single action mode, which is a lot lighter trigger pull is what I'm trying to say. The first round feels probably, I don't know, maybe 8 pounds-ish. When it goes into single action mode, that first double action did anyway, this feels about like a 5-ish pounds, 4 to 5-ish pounds on that. I didn't gauge it, but let's take a look at that trigger. So not much take up here. Hit that wall, you start pulling, you can see the hammer going back, and then it fires. On a double action pull, I never really tell a definitive wall. The reset is right there, not exactly a short reset, not a very long reset, but not exactly like, not Sig's short reset like in my Legion or Zev. Those guns have stupid short resets. This one is a little bit longer. Once you hit that, there is just a little bit more take up there. Hit that wall. You definitely can feel a wall in single action mode. And then you have that short little break right there, that crisp, maybe between 4 and 5 pounds. One thing I wasn't sure how I like about this, I do want to go ahead and get this out of the way. You can see how this trigger really hinges deep right here, and this is a little sharp. So I'm kind of anxious to see how my finger feels on that. I have shot Sig, 22 whatever model guns that have this on it. Seems like I had a Dark Elite years ago, or had two of them. Actually, I had a 226 and a 229 Dark Elite, and I think they had this style trigger, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it kind of would bite me when I would shoot it. I love Sig's flat triggers like in my Zev, but this one may get me. If I own this, I might actually change that out. There again, if it is in single action mode right there, you can always decock it with this lever right here. Most Sig P series, 22 whatevers, have this decocker right here. Right here is your slide release. not ambidextrous. Nothing on this is ambidextrous. Your takedown lever is right here. It comes down just like all other P22 whatever model pistols do. But I will tell you this, I've not fired one of these with these grips on it, this kind with no screws, but I am kind of anxious to see how much I ride that slide stop. It looks like I'm gonna ride it just like I do all other P22 pistols, because I do my 229, my 226, all my 226s and 229s that I've ever owned. I've always ridden that slide stop. I'm trying to get better at that because I love my Zev and I shoot my Zev a lot. I've got over 1,000 rounds through it now, so I'm trying to get better. This one, where it's a little bit wider, I may hit it worse. Actually, I can actually reach the magazine release pretty well, and if you look at it, it is kind of rounded. I actually like that. It actually helps me get a hold of that. This isn't hugely oversized, so if you have like a big thick glove, you might have a little hard time getting it in top to bottom wise because of the way this trigger is made, but it can be done. This gun's been used, maybe not 227s exactly, but 226s, which are made essentially the same way, same model, look wise, you know, it's the same aesthetics, general shape, been used by special forces all around the world. So it can definitely be done. To take this pistol down, I will show you, it is empty. You just lock it back, turn this lever down right here on the side like so. You drop the slide release right here, and then it just comes apart. Then you can take your spring out and your barrel out just like normal. Then you just line everything back up, run it back, lock it back into place, turn that lever back up, drop it down, function check, you're good to go. I do want to say the 226 and 9s and 7s and all that are pretty smooth pistols overall. I've had smoother, my staccatos are smoother and stuff like that, but overall these are pretty smooth pistols, but I'm pretty anxious to shoot it. Now the Equinox actually comes with 10 round magazines. I'm not sure how many it comes with. He sent 2 with the pistol for me to review, but they're 10 rounders. Like I said, they do make a tac ops in this gun that has like an extended grip here, hangs down just a little bit below the bottom of the gun, and it actually has 14 round magazines. So that is an option. They make this in many different versions. They have this one, which is the Equinox with all the silver on it. They have just your standard blacked out version. They have a threaded version, more like a tactical with like suppressor height sights. They have the tac ops. They just have numerous different versions of this pistol, but the sad news is it's discontinued. I believe this pistol is discontinued, and those pistols are actually going up. The last tac ops I seen was like $1,300 or $1,400, and that is a few $100s more, if I remember correctly, than it was when that pistol came out new. So these pistols are starting to be on the rise on the value of these pistol market. So if you're looking to pick one up, now is probably the time, because they're probably not going to get any cheaper if I was guessing. But without further ado, let's put a few rounds through it, see how the recoil is. I've never fired this pistol. I want to see how the recoil is, just see how the trigger is, if it actually bites me right here, and just see how the overall feel is. So let me get my magazines here, and we'll put 20 rounds through it and see what we think. All right, guys, we're back about 10 yards. We're not really going to do any, accuracy right now. Hopefully I can shoot better than I did when I did some videos the other day, because that was not great accuracy wise. But we're just going to test the pistol, see how the trigger feels, see how the recoil is, and let you know about that. Magazine goes in just fine, no problems at all. Really simple. Chambered that round. Let's go ahead and drop it down to double action and see how this thing works on double action and single action. All right, guys, I don't know if you noticed that. I don't think that was me, because check this out. This magazine is not holding the slide back. I don't know what's wrong with this magazine, but for some odd reason, it functioned fine as far as shooting rounds go. It is a 227 magazine. It looks just like this one. I don't really see any difference. This one locks the slide back just fine, but for some odd reason, this one does not. And I'm being honest, I see no difference at all in these magazines. Nothing. I mean, I see nothing. But this one will not hold the slide back. Doesn't work flawlessly. But, so let's get into this. The recoil wasn't horrible. I did have to adjust my grip once or twice, and the fiber optic is actually coming out. That'll be an issue. It's not coming all the way out because it's actually still pushed in the back, but it is coming out in the front. So there is that. Keep that in mind. If you have one of these, your fiber optic may come out, which is not a hard fix. It's pretty easy to fix, but that may be just a little bit of an aggravation that you may or may not want to deal with. You may want to swap this front sight if you pick one of these up, and you may not have that problem, but fiber optics do occasionally do that, and you do occasionally have to replace them. So just know that about fiber optic sights if you decide to go that route. The trigger double action wasn't horrible. I mean, it's normal Sig double action, felt normal. I will say this, the reset was audible and I could feel it. Subsequent shots in single action mode felt a little weird to me, and I don't know how to explain that. I'm used to my Zev, and it is a single action only pistol. I know that, and there is some differences between a double single action and a single action, even on single action mode. But it did just feel a little weird. Like I said, I don't know how to explain it. If you get one of these in your hand, you shoot it, you'll probably understand what I'm talking about if you shoot a lot. Not bad weird, it just felt different. Like I said, I don't know how to explain it. The grip was very comfortable. I will say this, where I was worried about that trigger, I didn't feel any of that. I didn't notice anything about the trigger like being sharp or anything, so my finger was actually staying above that. On my 226 and 229 that I had those triggers, I did notice that. Now, maybe my grip has changed in 15 years. I'm sure it has. It's probably better now than it was if I was guessing. And it feels more normal, or it doesn't bother me as bad on something like that. But if your trigger control or your grip was like mine used to be, just note you may want to change that after a few hundred rounds, because you may start getting a little sore like I used to. But there again, the second magazine didn't hold the slide back. The first one would have, but guess what? Rode that slide stop. I don't know why Sig puts those here. I just don't understand why they stick those here. But I ride those slide stops like a horse down the prairie. It is crazy how I ride those slide stops. But these are some of my favorite pistols made. Now, I do want to say this does have, of course, a pick rail here to attach lights and stuff like that. And these bugs and bees are eating me up. But you can attach your lights, lasers, chainsaws, whatever you want to attach to that, you can attach to it. But I do want to shoot a little bit more, and I would say we'll check the accuracy. We'll do it. I don't know what kind of day I'm going to have looking at that target right there, but this is how we do it on this channel. If I have a bad day, you get to laugh at it in the comment section. So stay tuned. I'm going to load up a couple more magazines, and hopefully this fiber optic don't fall completely out. And we'll put a couple more magazines through it, getting used to the trigger, and maybe then we'll throw up a shoot and see, and just see what kind of accuracy I can get if I slow down. fiber optic's gonna come out. Malfunction. Cleared it. Maybe not. All right, now we cleared it. It actually just went in. Lock back on that one. Was that the magazine that wasn't locking back? All right, guys, I don't know about the accuracy on this pistol. This fiber optic keeps on popping out. Maybe I try to tap it in there a little bit. I'm wondering if this was the magazine that wasn't locking back. It is the magazine that wasn't locking back, and it still ain't locking back. But for some odd reason, I was conscious enough to keep my hand or thumb off that slide stop, and it locked back. But this magazine did have a malfunction, and it's very, very well could be the magazine since it's not locking back correctly. I'm gonna throw up a shoot and see, kind of see where I'm at with this. I'm afraid with this fiber optic, because it comes out and kicks sideways, that this may not get an accuracy test. We'll probably still back it out to 45 yards and see if we can hit that steel plate. But it's not as accurate as I like it to be, even on a single action. And I mean, it's all over the place, but I think this right here is bouncing around while I'm shooting it, and that fiber optic is throwing me off. Let me tap this in with something and try to seat it better. Maybe it'll stay in. I'll put up a shoot and see how it is. I may show you. I'll probably still show you, but it's I think this fiber optic is bouncing out and bouncing around. It's throwing me off a little bit. All right, guys, 10 yards. It seems to be holding in pretty good. I put 10 rounds through it just to make sure it ain't coming out, and it's not. So 10 yards, 5 rounds. Let's see what we got. Single action only. That was horrible, but I'm gonna show it to you. It's horrible. I don't know why it was horrible. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm assuming the 5th one's probably like down here somewhere. That's horrible. So I have a limited supply of ammo today. I'm gonna do this one more time. I'll probably just use that shoot and see. You've seen where those 4 rounds were. So we're gonna do this one more time. Maybe it'll get better, maybe it'll get worse. I don't know. All right, guys, this is it. So we'll find out if it's better or worse, but same drill. A little bit better. Still high left. Usually if you miss, it's low left. So I had one right here, and the other 3 were basically touching up here. I mean, still combat accurate, but I'm just not shooting it well. I'm still gonna back it out to 40 yards and see what I can do back there. Probably horribly after seeing that, but we're still gonna do it. All right, guys, 40 yards out here. So let's just see if we can hit that steel plate. Out of 10 times, how many times we hit it? Probably not many after seeing what I did at 10 yards. All right, that was either 4 or 5. I kind of lost count because it kind of got hard to hear. My headphones would cut out, and I think I heard 1. I'm not sure if I heard it. So that was either 4 or 5. So we're batting somewhere around 500 with this gun from that far. But still not shooting it great. I'll just say that. Stay tuned for the comparison video, but let me take you back up here and give you my final thoughts on just this gun review. All right, guys, so what do I think about the 227? I think it's a pretty soft shooting 45 because it's fairly heavy. The recoil is very manageable. It feels pretty good in the hand. I am not as accurate with it as I would like to be. Even after I got the fiber optic to stay in, it seems to be fixed for now. Still not crazy accurate with it. I'm a little left, which sometimes I am a little left with some guns. Not gonna lie, I'm a right-handed shooter. That happens sometimes. Maybe my fundamentals aren't the best, or maybe I just have bad days. I've been a little burnt out here lately. That's why it's been one video a week, and maybe my heart just ain't in it today. I'm not sure what it is, but I was high left. And for left-handed shooters, most of the time you're low left. So this gun is shooting a little high for me. When I was shooting the steel, I noticed I had to aim a little bit lower on it to get the 4 or 5 hits I got. You all can count those. I ain't edited the video yet, so I couldn't remember if it's 4 or 5. But the gun feels real good. But just like all Sig, most all Sigs in general, that slide stop gets me about every single time. And that's just the nature of the beast. And the more I practice with it, I get a little better, but still, you can see no matter how many thousands of rounds I put through these guns, I still hit that slide stop. And I know a lot of you do too, because I've seen it in the comment section, and it happens. And I don't know why they designed it that way, but that's the way it is. Only one malfunction where it had the failure to feed, easily remedied. I pulled it back just a little bit, popped the back of it, went right into battery. So we got that fixed and we got back on our way. Not really common with these series of pistols. I still will probably eventually buy a TAC Ops or a threaded version, probably more than likely the TAC Ops just for the round count. I think it would be a great home defense gun. 45 really packs a punch. So if you got a TAC Ops version, or what I'm fixing to compare this gun to in the next video, that would be a very, very good home defense pistol in my opinion. I don't think you can go wrong with a Sig P227 whatever series pistol it is, whether it's a 227, a 229, a 226, Zev 226. I don't think you can go wrong with those. They're soft shooting because they weigh a little bit, and most of the time they're really accurate. That was me. I'm sure the gun is way more accurate than I am. But if you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Sorry I didn't do my best shooting today, but sometimes that's just the way it is, and it's been that way for the last 2 times I've shot videos. We'll see you next time.